Lightcycles meet the real world in the trailer for Tron Ares, Disney's newest entry to the Tron universe. The trailer, featuring music from for the film by Nine Inch Nails, shows us what it will look like when the digital Tron world infiltrates the real world. The film stars Jared Leto, and the cast includes Greta Lee, Gillian Anderson, Jeff Bridges, Evan Peters, Jodie Turner-Smith, and Cameron Monaghan. The film marks a nearly 15-year gap since the last Tron entry. Give us your lit-up opinion.
I gotta say, I enjoyed Tron when I was a kid. I grew up, my dad got me on that randomly, like one Saturday afternoon, and enjoyed the movie and always thought it was such a cool concept. For whatever reason, once Tron Legacy came out, I didn't really have a particular interest in it, and I just wound up missing that. I heard the soundtrack. I loved Daft Punk's score. Visually, it looked beautiful on a lot of things that I saw, and I heard great word of mouth, but it didn't seem, it wasn't a massive movie, which I guess it can explain that 15-year gap going to Tron Ares. I watched the trailer for Tron Ares recently, and my interest is actually piqued in this. It looks visually beautiful, looks stunning. You give me Nine Inch Nails, and especially they're not saying composed by Trent Ross and Atticus Shaffer. It's Nine Inch Nails. They said there's a difference when they're doing this. I need to hear more of that. I loved it in the trailer. Jared Leto, man, the 323 Network, our movie guy Travis Byram. We had a whole we don't talk about Leto song and dance and everything for this, but I think I can overlook him for this. If I saw Morbius and didn't, I could get through Jared Leto, I can get through on this. Rest of the cast is awesome. And Jeff Bridges' voice is awesome in the trailer. It was just great. He's a perfect narration on this. I'm actually excited for this and excited to see it. It's a really cool concept to see the Tron world enter the real world and that crossover and how it looks as just like this visual paradox. So it'll be interesting to see. I can't guarantee that it's going to be a hit. I can't guarantee that it's going to be good. Maybe that concept is going to blow up. I've always liked the virtual world idea, and so to see a crossover that's kind of, compelling and it's bold, we'll see if it works out, but I'm curious for it and looking forward to seeing it.
Now, I was curious about the Leto thing because I just can't get my head around building a franchise around Jared Leto in the year 2025. Like, it makes 0% sense to me, like, why you would do that, because he is so out there of a character and is in many ways controversial and by all stretch of the imagination is apparently like kind of hard to work with on set. But I went and looked it up because I was like, I feel like we've been talking about Jared Leto in this Tron movie for a while. He was cast in March 2017 in this thing. So he was cast 8 years ago in this movie because it's been in production so long. And, March 2017 Jared Leto probably has a little bit of a different vibe than 2025 Jared Leto. That was about 4 or 5 months post Air Suicide Squad, which is probably where his career started to tip down a little bit and started to kind of take a little bit of a tumble after that whole Joker debacle in that film. So I think that maybe can give us a little bit of context. Like, if you're making Tron Ares today, you are not casting Jared Leto. Like, you're just not. Like, you're casting someone else. But in 2017, I think it probably made more sense to do it that way.
Interesting. I did see Tron Legacy 15 years ago, I guess. Wow. And I loved Tron Legacy. I thought it was really cool. It was not successful, and it did not get the sequel that they clearly kind of planned for. But in the movie, they did a really good job of the first Tron movie is sort of just like, it's a guy's adventure story going to a crazy digital world and trying to get out. That's the whole movie, really. I feel like they did a really good job in Tron Legacy of having you care about the characters, the digital characters, this world that they had. And now I'm wondering how much of that, like, fleshing out of the digital people will transfer over to this new one, because clearly they're breaking into our world. Is it just villainous breaking in and trying to take over, or is it something are they trying to save themselves in some way? That would go well with the kind of the way the Tron Legacy ended. I'm basically curious how much Tron Legacy and this movie are going to have much crossover. I'm assuming they will because they're the same. Jeff Bridges is in both, and they're I'm assuming they will continue the storyline that they left off with. But and I've been excited to hear about that storyline for the last 15 years. So yeah, I'm pumped for this, and I'm hoping that it's the story of these digital people trying to survive, and they need to come into our world, and then trying to figure out how the humans and the digital people can kind of like learn to coexist and stop a war between them. That's kind of the vibe I was getting. But I think that I love that kind of stuff. People that are different and have to share a world together. I think that's a very real and a good story to tell. But I cannot watch this trailer and not think about that Adam Sandler movie Pixels. I can't. It's like they just did Pixels but at nighttime, and I don't know. It doesn't like the graphics do not look bad. The graphics look great, but I cannot not think about Pixels. Literally 2D video game world coming into our world and attacking. It's Pixels. It's Pixels. It's Pixels. It's Pixels. And I don't know how I'm gonna get past that.
Or is Pixels Tron? Because Tron came out in the 80s.
But they weren't coming into our world, like that was the whole thing. That's the whole thing here. That's why it's something about seeing those two-dimensional creatures and stuff rendered, and bikes and all that stuff rendered into our real world, which is what Pixels did. And yeah, so that's why I can't keep the two separate.
Tron is an interesting franchise at this point because it did start in the 80s. The original movie was much hated, not received well. Probably was a little too ahead of its time for when it came out, but then it became loved. They have the theme park ride, etc., etc. But I feel like it's one of those little niche things, kind of like Dune is in a way, where it's yeah, I've heard of that, but I don't know a lot about it. I'm sure there are lots of Tron super fans out there, and good for you. I'm happy for you. So hopefully you're excited about this film, but I just worry that I think it looks cool. I think it sounds cool. I'm glad Jared Leto is not a real person in it, because that makes the most sense anyway. But I'm sure it's costing a lot to make this movie. And is it going to be another Disney over budget, underperforming movie at the box office? I don't know, because I just don't know how tenuous the line between these Tron movies is. Is it something that my dad's going to take me to it because he loved the original Tron, or my grandpa, or what? I just don't know if that connection's there, or if there's a big enough audience out there who's oh yeah, the Tron movie. That's what I want to go see.
Mm-hmm. The second one did a really interesting job of taking the ball from the first movie and really pushing the story forward, but in a way that if they just drop that ball completely, it will feel like they just dropped the second one, like it doesn't count or something. And I feel like that will be a betrayal of, people who go see movies. I don't like when canon is broken, but I also understand that if you're making a new Tron movie, a lot of people didn't see the 15 years ago one. So maybe you don't want to pay attention to that last one. So yeah, it'll be really interesting to see how that handoff is done. And maybe we'll Bingers assemble this one, because I think it'll be a fun one to do. Mm-hmm. You just watched a clip from Multiverse News. If you liked it, go to our channel. We got a whole episode that it comes from. So go check that out and hit the like and subscribe. And we got lots of clips you'll enjoy, but also full hour-long episodes of Multiverse News with lots of things that don't even make it to clips. So check us out.
You stay clippy.